big sweats. Feels like just this whole day, again, with the 10K going on. Chewy with the chip lead, by the way, unreal. I believe they're playing down to 6. We'll reach a winner here in this one tonight. Couple of 3s for Santosh. Let's see.
Seconds. Santosh is all in.
He does go for the jam.
Dan folds. Nick folds.
Can he get it through? He's off to a great start. They've flown out to the small blind, but he won't get it through. He'll be happy to see that it's a flip. Good luck, gentlemen.
2 3s for Santosh. Ace, king.
Oh, boy.
For Mario. Ace of clubs, king of spades. First 2
I
3s.
feel like we saw one ace folded along the way. Could be mistaken. I thought we saw the ace of diamonds somewhere. Whatever the case may be. Can Santosh find the double?
He's all in for 1,075,000. 1,075,000. We're going to go to the flop. Flop is a 10-7 deuce. 10-7
Clean
deuce.
for Santosh.
2 hearts on the flop. Neither player with a heart in their hand. 10 of diamonds, 7 hearts, deuce of hearts.
It's a dramatic pause before that turn. Flip it over, pal. We need it.
It's an 8.
Clean for Santosh. Very.
3 still in the lead.
Just dodging the 6 out, or perhaps 5.
And the river. It's an ace.
Oh, man. That's the dagger there.
Ace on the river.
What a rough final table for Santosh. Nothing you can do, pal.
Hey, good luck, good luck.
Good game, Santosh.
Good luck. That's good. Good luck.
He's a cool cat, this guy. High stakes kind of guy. GG, sir. Just like that, we're on the stone bubble.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/YT. Make a new account with bonus code YT73 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
He does first. He folds.
Big slick for Haxton.
I had 2 before I posted.
Inquiring about the big blind stack.
That's 100. That's 1.8.
200 to go.
200.
Raises to 200,000. Mario folds. Dan folds.
Oh, man.
What do you have?
3.85, including the open.
One would think this is enough to go all in with.
Raise
Raise 1.3.
Goes for
Raised to
1.3.
1.3 million by Nick Petrangelo. Nick raises to 1.3.
Interesting, by the way. Collect the ideas. This is very unfortunate for Petrangelo as it stands now.
All in. All in.
All in and
He
call.
hears the bad
Petrangelo
news,
all
and
in.
he'll see the bad
Ace
news.
queen,
Stone
ace
bubble.
king
Nicky P
for
slightly
Isaac
sick.
Heistel.
This is about right.
Can he hit?
Isaac has ace of hearts, king of spades. Nick has ace of clubs, queen of diamonds.
You didn't want to call,
Petrangelo, the
at
all-in
least?
player.
Greedy.
Ace
I don't
queen
think I'm supposed to
against
call
ace
that
king.
one.
That's greedy.
He's not really sick. He never is. He's such a good player. He just kind of goes about his business. He's joking around.
Now at least no one will accuse us of colluding.
That's true.
Even 4 million the pot.
Yeah.
If I'd called tens and folded a king jack flop, that would have been sketchy.
Good flop.
All right. Got a green light for the flop.
Flop is an ace, ace 7, and a 5. Ace 7, 5.
Would have gone broke anyway.
What?
I said I would have gone broke anyway if I called.
That's true.
Ace 7, 5, ace
Can he hit the queen, guys?
5 of diamonds.
Or run out a full house somehow?
Turn card
Vince is like, that's a great point.
is a 9 of clubs.
Down to 3 outs. Very naked for Pietrangelo. Can he do it?
And the river. It's a 10.
I like that guy.
GG, Nick.
Sorry, brother.
All right.
Bubble is burst.
Good luck with it.
Lucky.
Handshakes, hugs. Somebody has to bubble. Okay, but it's the Mossbach show at the moment. Ike seems intrigued. Ace queen suited.
$275.
Raise 275.
Goes for just north of min.
Isaac raises to 275. Mario folds.
Mario gone in for Smith a decision. Raw power of the ace, quite short. But ace 5 against the Ike caught off open. Interesting.
10 seconds.
Great fold there from Dan. We can see he was in all sorts of trouble. Snowmen for Makita.
One, 3, 2, 5 behind, yeah.
Ten seconds.
Ike not going anywhere. Good luck, gentlemen. Huge flip here.
And a call. All in for Makita.
He didn't like
Two
the
eights,
speed of the
ace
call.
queen of hearts for
Bit
Isaac
relieved
Paxton.
to see the flip.
8 of clubs, 8 of hearts. And ace queen of
only
hearts
it were
for
short
Isaac
deck.
Paxton.
If only it were short deck,
Isaac
in much better
Paxton
shape.
is the all-in player.
It's a big flip.
Makita has
Big
him
flip.
covered.
Is anyone selling insurance?
I'm in the market.
2.6 you said, right?
2.6 exactly.
Mercy of the deck. All that hard work, but you always find yourself at the mercy of the deck in a tournament.
Gonna get me with the prepay.
Flop is a 5, 4, deuce. Now
Got the
three
wheel draw, the backdoor hearts. Far from over, but Makita in the lead.
3, 6.
Okay, let's start with the 6.
Let's start with the 3.
Deuce of hearts. 2 to come. The turn
How about heart?
Heart is okay.
is a 10.
And it
of
is a heart.
hearts.
I mean, I don't mind. It's fair card.
Isaac has any heart, any ace.
Just no
any
more
queen,
hearts, please.
Any 3.
They call it too
Almost
many
feels like a PLO hand.
And the river.
Can Ike hit?
It's a jack.
Give him an
It's
ants.
not gonna
He
be-
cannot.
Isaac Haxon.
Very good game, sir.
That's fine.
3 remain. Huge ladder for Smith.
Do you mind use the button for a minute?
Go for it. Hey,
Sorry. Dan's first.
Can't ask for much more than an ace on the button. Short.
Raise.
Raise.
Dan is raised. This made 800,000. Still got 25 behind.
800, a little bit close for Mario. It's in.
It's gonna
Good
make
luck,
loose
gentlemen.
Put them all in.
Suited
Ace
king,
4 for Dan Smith. King 7
the ace wheel rainbow.
for Mario. Last spot. He has King 7 of clubs up against Ace of Hearts 4 of diamonds. Ace of Hearts 4 of diamonds. Dan Smith all in. Dan Smith the all in play. All right, here comes the flop. Flop is a 7.
Mosbeck
10,
slides
and
into the lead.
7's in the lead.
It's looking a bit dire for Smith. We see the outs as of right now. Just the 3 aces.
Is a 5.
And still just the 3 aces.
And it's down to catching one of the remaining 3 aces.
I would take
Will
the
be our
ace of
third
spades.
place finisher. And the river. He's a king. King
And a very good game to you, sir.
And we lose Dan Smith in 3rd place.
Smith adds another podium
Down,
finish
hands up.
to his illustrious career. We're heads up in the desert. Could be a long one, could be a good one. Mikita Badziakuski, Mario Mosbeck. I mean, this is a great match we have upon us.
Am I keeping my seat here or am I?
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/YT. Make a new account with bonus code YT73 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
Nikita calls 150.
$42 bigs for Mikita.
10 seconds.
$1,050,000.
Goes for $1,050,000.
1,050,000 is the bet.
See how Mikita responds with this
1,050,000 is
one
the bet.
gapper suited connector, but just 8 high.
50 Mickey. PJ 1050. Calls when made.
He is in.
Nikita calls
2.25 in the middle.
1,050,000. Here's the flop. Ace, 9,
Oh,
7.
open-ended for Mikita. Top pair for Mario.
7 of diamonds.
Very much have one brewing off of the bat.
10 seconds. Check for Mario.
Interesting. Limp, big raise pre-call, check. And for Mikita with the open-ender, we're not dying to get check raised here, but we have all sorts of stuff. Check seems very cozy. Bet is interesting. What size if we bet?
10 seconds.
See what Badziakuski comes with. He goes for check as well.
Check, check. Turn card. It's a 5 of
Oh,
hearts.
we have a new chip leader. Ace is up for Mario. Excuse me. Naturally, Mario might make a full house, but as it stands, there is no more of a dream for Makita than the 5 sliding in straight for Makita, 2 pair for Mospec. Wow.
10 seconds.
$1.4.
Music to one's ears is an understatement for Makita hearing this 1.4. We feel he's feeling just, let's see if we can see the joy emanating from Makita. Let's see.
Ten seconds.
Makita going time bank. There he is. Calls. As usual, fairly icy. I'm not feeling the abundance of joy. Trying to dodge the ace or the 5, guys.
River card is king
And he
spades.
does. I think it's going in here. 4 million left to play, 5 million in the middle.
10 seconds.
80% pot left. Ace is up. Perhaps he travels a different road, but one way or another, it is going in here.
Time extension. Seconds.
All in.
Does shove.
All in.
Has he been
And
snapped?
a
Do we have a
call.
look back? He'll see the bad
6-8
news.
over here for a straight.
Go on, Makita.
Aces and 5s, 2
My.
pair. Makita has made a straight. He's got 6-8 of clubs versus ace 5, ace of diamonds, 5 of spades, 2 pair. And Makita. Zukowski has doubled up.
Cool.
All right, back again.
Goes for the limp.
Makita calls 150.
Jack 10 off. King 6 off for Mario in the big. A clean 30 big blinds.
And a check. Flop is queen of diamonds, jack of spades, 4 of hearts.
Clean start for bats.
Check for Mario.
Perhaps we go either way for Makita.
And a check.
Goes for check. It seems like a nice choice. We have a lot of trashy cards that we need to kind of protect. We can't just limp the button and bet these queen-jack boards with impunity. It seems a little fishy, does it not? And for Mario, king of clubs 6, full rainbow board. He does have the sort of interfere with straight draws hands, bet and then bluff all the straight cards, but check seems nice as well.
Check
Does go for check.
for Mario.
Goes for some value.
225.
Half pot.
Seconds.
850.
Look at this.
850. And Mario.
Mosbeck potentially picking an inopportune time, although of course these jacks with a 10 are vulnerable. But one would not think Makita is going away just yet. Lovely shot of his hands grasping the cards within the shades.
Call's been made.
Does call, and many a river can come, so let's just see. And this is the kind of card that's very hard for Mosbeck to check after taking this line. He can potentially have 6-3, 6-8. They're possible. It's not exceedingly relevant that he blocks those, but they're possible. The king, I suppose, is multifaceted, but maybe a bit neutral or just good. I would think Mosbeck will be bluffing this card. Quite hard to just check king 6 here. Perhaps it's called for sometimes. Not sure. But it's a very natural bluff. 3.6 back, 2.15 in the middle. He does go for 2.1, essentially full pot. This is very tough for Makita with second pair. Oh. That could be a little bit old school. Note what Makita's doing. He's moving his cards, maybe trying to get a little bit of a read. I'm not saying he's doing anything uncouth, but he kind of didn't it look like he was folding there for a split second, but then he took it. But this guy's played a lot of cash. He's been around. He's done it all. Does get away. Very nice from Mosbeck there. Beautiful. Does get it through. I suppose Makita's initial reaction was just genuine.
Hang on for 1 second. They got to fix the camera. He calls 150.
Touch sneaky from Makita. See how Mosbeck handles this. King Jack off. There's some big shoving going on in theory, by the way, heads up. It's hard to kind of execute some of these ideas. Sometimes they limp and you can shove an obscene amount of big blinds in theory. And you're out there with, we see the regular raise from Mosbeck and for Makita with ace-9. 25-ish bigs, let's call it. An awful lot of hand heads up, is it not?
Seconds.
Does come with the back jam.
Raised to 4,150,000. 4150. Makes the
Does put it
call.
in. Let's run it,
He's got
gentlemen.
king,
Makita with
jack,
the best
king of
hand
clubs,
for the
jack of
win.
Diamonds. He's up against ace of diamonds, 9 of spades for Makita. Could be for the one-drop title. Ace-9 over here, king-jack for Makita. Ace of diamonds, 9 of spades versus king of clubs, jack of diamonds.
All right, fair enough. They're calling for what they're calling for.
Go to the flop.
There it is. Flop coming.
Flop is 10.
Clean
10
for Makita.
off.
Club working for Mosbeck.
Clubs. He's holding the king of clubs. It's 9 still in the
Now
lead.
we have to kind of lean over the chair. He's feeling it.
Turn card. Is an 8.
What a card for Makita.
Is a king or a jack.
Can he hold, guys?
Have a winner here. And the big one for one drop. And the river. And the card's 4.
Yes, he
That's it.
can.
It's all over. Makita has won.
Firstly to Mario, what a game, what a performance, congratulations. And to Badziakuski, an all-time legend of the game, taking down the big one for one drop this year.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/YT. Make a new account with bonus code YT73 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
Disappointed if we don't have at least 25, 30.
It's just so exciting for me because it's an indicator of how healthy poker is right now.
It's very true. Yeah, I mean, other than this, and it's something we're very open and okay talking about, other than the overlay in this World Championship, every other guarantee, I'm trying to think of an exception, has doubled the guarantee.
Doubled.
Like, doubled
Wow.
the guarantee.
Yeah, I was going to say smash, but doubled is insane. Especially for the prime, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the 3K has $1 million up top in it. That
Yeah.
comes back today.
Incredible.
The prime, 1.4 million for first and an $1,100 buy-in.
Just an off-the-cuff.
25K.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, no worries. The seniors as well. Seniors doubled the guarantee within like the first few levels. That was a 10K, 500K guarantee. Just immediately had $1 million in the prize pool. And going on here, Jason v Enrique. This could be showers.
Yeah, I wonder how Enrique's going to play this because these have been 2 of the quieter players at the table so far, but we're only 40 minutes in. That doesn't mean a lot. That said, I wonder how much of Jason's play Enrique has seen or has had reported to him. Because Jason was no nit the last couple days.
That's very true. This is Enrique Zanetti. Only $3,000 in live earnings, but the Brazilian flag, part of the Brazilian Armada, one would have to assume, coming from an online background as he has been very solid, seems comfortable out there as it comes King, Queen 3, and this could be trouble for the Brazilian.
Yeah, there's an army of Brazilians that we're not super familiar with yet on the live circuit that are just smashing online tournaments. And as more of them show up on some of these tours, it becomes a little frightening.
Yeah, for the rest of us mere mortals. I think there's like a general opinion that they're the most well-studied when it comes to ICM as well. Just see, they seem to be a step or two against ahead of everyone else. 3 of diamonds on the turn could prove troublesome. Enrique. See what Jason does here with top voted. Does he just allow a club to roll off, a 10, a jack to roll off, just letting Enrique get there in some form?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a check here, considering his hand, how much of the board he has. A very small bet makes sense, too. I don't think you'd ever want to go large with this combo. Yeah, and allow a queen to fold. Even this size just puts ace-queen in the bin.
Jason with quite the stare down here, Jesse.
Yeah, which is funny because we know he doesn't need any live tells throughout this hand. He's pretty aware that he's winning this pot.
trying to give off some reverse tells by himself. I don't know.
For sure.
I feel like the decision here for Enrique is for his tournament life, even though it's only 3.6 million on request. The SPR going to the river would be around 0.4 should he call.
It's pretty sick. When I left the booth yesterday at 4 o'clock, Jason was at 2.5 million and on life support in terms of big blinds. Now he's just chilling on 24 million.
Massive shout out to
Well,
each and every one of you.
Turbo, I had like 4 bigs, but they rolled back.
Joining myself and Jesse Sylvia for this day 6 coverage. Playing down to 6 today.
I'm somewhat of a random person in some respects.
Currently on a $70,000 pay jump between 15th and 14th,
hard to
all
peg someone
guaranteed
as a bird person.
291,000. I tell you what, Jesse, we have not been spoiled for big hands at this feature. Ace King now for Enrique.
Yeah, they can live apparently.
And it could not have come any sooner for him. He needs to make something happen at this point with the stack size.
Didn't even leave it installed.
17K pay jump?
70.
Oh, 7. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, that's a very small pay jump for.
Pay attention, Jesse.
We'll do better in the future, Henry.
Oh, we're going to be spinning the wheel.
Oh, here we go.
Carl, of course, making the call. I believe he's put too much in.
Wrong, bro.
Luck, boys.
There's one more.
How much is
Seems
it?
to be going around, putting too much in.
Thank you.
Pretty confident.
Cards
This looks familiar.
on their backs. Ace King.
Almost the river,
Almost the same suits.
I
What's
think
that?
it's nice.
The ace and the river should be familiar as well.
Is that so?
Talking about the
Good
Ace
luck to you,
King
man.
V9 sand late in day 5. Fair fight for 11.5 million chips. $70,000 ladder, we all know who everyone else is rooting for. As it comes Jack 5-4, clean so far for Carl Shaw. 6 outs twice for the Brazilian. Clean on the turn. Stands up out of his chair.
Gotta do it.
Has to be done with one card to come. Doesn't find the ace on the river this time. Carl Shaw finds the hold with the 2 9s. Crosses the 30 million chip mark. And with that, everyone
No, it sucks. All my friends, family are so far away.
Back on the islands, you mean?
Yeah, so they can't even.
I can watch along.
Yeah.
Little blind versus blind between Ben and Chewy, who have been quite cordial, friendly at the table so far. I always like these interactions when those 2 players are forced to play a pot together.
could collide on certain board textures. Could be one of them, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean,
So I gotta be 6.
certainly some money is going to go into the pot. Chewy's not folding his gut shot. Backdoor flush draw.
Snap bet from Ben. Tried betting less than he's allowed to. Happens. Seeing a lot of misclicks, by the way, today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great sign of the nerves right there, or a
Yeah.
way to see the nerves. Even
So-
Mormon, who's been here before, not here, but been in the big final table situations before live and, of course, a ton online.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Mormon as well. Ben and Jason. Jason made a misclick earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Does call the raise.
Check.
This one might just go check, check now. That's like the only card in the deck where Chewy doesn't win the hand. Unless he just bombs, I mean.
Chewy's really good at these spots and managing to find bluffs. A lot of people just fail to have enough bluffs or any bluffs because it's just such a bad card. But Chewy will identify that he wants to have some bluffs, and maybe this is a really good hand for it because you can't win at showdown, it's 4 high. And also, his opponent can still have a 6. So that's something to consider. Look at that. He's just so good.
Yeah, regardless of how this hand plays out, just having the awareness. Ben's got one of those marginal types of holdings. Okay, Ben not thrilled about this. That is going to make the call.
Wow.
And does Chewy just rocket man this into oblivion?
It seems so hard to do that once your opponent's bet called the turn.
Oh, hello.
Oh my god. Well,
5-ball corner pocket. That's why if you do find the barrel on the turn, Jesse, you make sure that you've got those emergency outs.
it's really good idea to do something like that, isn't it? I think it's almost unfortunate for Chewy here that his opponent happens to have a 6, because by the time he shows up at the river, given how they played the hand, he's going to have a jack a lot, which will just pay off the bet. And with 6-7, he might feel like, you know, this is the one that he can let go of if Chewy finds a big bet here. And I imagine his bet's going to be quite large.
There's part of me that's somewhat disappointed in the sense that I wanted
Yeah.
to see if he was going to go for it.
For sure.
But at the same time, finding that 5 guaranteed to cross the 25 million chip mark here. Can he squeeze out an additional 7.2 million? In a weird way, I feel like Ben getting sticky on the turn. He's kind of made up his mind that he's calling.
It's funny because I don't know how... I don't think it matters how good you are, how analytical you are. You still have these thoughts go through your head like, okay, we're going to raise a flop, and then on the turn you're like, okay, well, I have a pretty good hand. Oh, look at that call.
Straight.
Chewy gets paid 27 million chip pot. Going his way. Ben, that dog has seen more poker than most professionals, like 16 years old.
16 years old, he's probably grinded most of the hands that Mormon has.
I see that.
Yeah, I mean,
along
that's
with him.
Name?
Desperate time, London, like the sea.
That's pretty much the time that Mormon started playing, right?
Oh, wow. I feel like I met
2006,
him ages ago.
2007
Yeah, he's
ish.
16 years old.
Yeah.
We met him at
Although I
some point.
believe London was Katie's dog
really
before
good
Mormon
dog.
and Katie met.
Yeah, it's too
So
big.
he missed some of
Yeah.
the early years.
Okay.
It's awesome.
But
Once again, a warm welcome to all of you that have recently stumbled into the stream. Just one level into the day. Had 2 eliminations so far. Early departures in the day. We saw Enrique Zanetti losing a flip against Carl Shaw, Ace King against 9s, and Rafael
In a second.
ooh,
blew out on the outer table.
Don't you disappoint
look at
Here we
this.
go.
It's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Mormon
lucky.
hasn't sweat out a second card yet. He has no
Yeah.
idea how good his hand is.
Okay, you do that. Okay.
Well, you know.
I understand.
See, I know. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, he has. He's just giving him a...
Oh wow. Yeah, he's pretty
London,
lucky.
why you do that?
London, come over here.
London.
Papa's wishes.
Bringing
mean,
the run good.
Stuck in there on Queen Jack. Like call him. Probably just fold.
Regardless of what year that
I'm feeling
London
like
checked into Mormon's life, it's safe to say that
Nah,
dog
stay
has
away
seen
from that.
I'll
more,
take a chop.
more hands than nearly any person on the planet.
Well, chop announced from
start for a chop.
Paulius.
I'll take a chop. But
Not
I need
greedy.
to pass the blinds.
Good
too.
start.
London looks very proud of himself.
Not the best turn card to see.
Slowly dealer. Jack of clubs.
9 and a 9 only for the win for Paulius. Jack or a 3 for a chop. Doesn't find it.
Good game, brother. Good game, man.
Chris
Good work.
Mormon is going to find the hold
now
with the
you're gonna
ace
carry
king.
The torch of the commentary.
Yeah.
Up to 22.7 million. Paulius, love to see the handshakes all round.
You can't overuse him though. You've got to put him back now.
My favorite contrarian.
Yeah, take care, man.
Take care, man.
That's my good brother.
Going home with 363,000.
Love to do that. How long are you going to be here for?
Depending on how long I've been this tournament.
Fair enough. I would say I would grab your number, but the phone's locked up. But
Yeah.
let's
Yeah, let's connect.
keep in touch.
Yeah, I come to Vegas pretty often, so.
Cool.
Raise. 1.6.
Chewie's just such a great effing human, bro. He
He's the
really is, right? I mean, how can you not root for this guy?
I feel like once every 5 to 10 years you meet a person where you just immediately realize I'm never going to meet someone quite like this person ever again. There's only one of these. Chewie's definitely a one of one.
like 22?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris defending the big with the suited queen. It's the two Brits. Look to battle. Old school v new school. As it comes, Queen 8-5, top and bottom for Mormon, 1 over to Carl Shaw's pocket nines. Curious to see how Mormon proceeds here. Jesse against the just shy of half pot c-bet from Carl. Does he want to fast play this one?
It's interesting. So he has kind of the classic strong hand that you generally slow play top and bottom, because when you have bottom 2, you're unblocking top pair, so you really like to get the check raise in now. And when you have top 2, your hand's so strong you just want to put in a check raise and cooler them right away. But top and bottom gets slow played a lot. That said, they have such an aggressive dynamic going on. Maybe not just between these two players, but just generally both players do that.
Yeah.
Putting the money in right now makes a lot of sense. And we know that considering the hands that they have, Chris really wants to be check raising right now because Carl has the type of hand that will probably not be folding to a small check raise on the flop, but will be checking back the turn a ton and potentially finding river folds. So this is Chris's best route to getting more money out of his opponent.
I also think, given how many turn cards, like complete straights, any 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 jack, we want to stack aces and kings now, right? King, queen, ace, queen. Like, we want to make it so that they can't get away. For example, on a turn like this, as Carl does pick up a gut shot.
Case in point.
14.8 million out there. Mormon with just north of pot behind.
This is a tricky turn card for Mormon, because this not only completes some of Mormon's draws, but also completes a lot of Carl's floats in terms of making at least a pair, potentially a straight. One nice thing that Mormon could consider is that the most likely underpair to the top card on the board that would check back is pocket jacks. So Carl's a little less likely to have pocket jacks than he is to have pocket 10s or pocket 9s. Those require a little more protection.
That's a great point. See if Mormon just goes for it. Just goes for the juggler.
Considering how float heavy Carl seems to be, in these spots, it might be nice to pick a small sizing and let Carl continue to float with something like ace-9 suited with a backdoor flush draw, ace-10. Things like pocket nines will fold to the shove, but they may not fold to this sizing. So I started that sentence before Mormon put out his bet.
You did. Don't worry. No one's here.
Yeah. No, but it's, I mean, I would have said something right around 5 million. I really love this bet size by Chris.
Well, he's managed to extract another 5.4 million from Carl. 25.6 out there. As the 4 of diamonds completes the run out. Mormon with the check mark. Going to be playing a very healthy 35 million. The conclusion of this hand. See if he can extract any more from Carl. Surely not now. Carl with a pretty bad bluff catcher. Blocking hands like 9-7.
Especially with the presence of the 4, so 6-7 got there. You would expect Mormon's most likely bluffs now to be something like 9-7, 9-6. Having 2 9s in your hand, not great.
All you can eat.
Here we go.
How much is it?
Carl asking for a count. He's been put through the ringer a bit over the last level or so. Was so close to crossing the 50 million chip mark against Maxime in that ace-jack v Jack's hand.
It's actually sick how big this pot's become. It's just a small check raise and a small turn bet, but Chris could potentially go from, if Carl folds, Chris will go from 22 million, I think, to 35. And Carl will be one of the short stacks in the tournament.
Yeah, Carl's going to be down to sub 20, maybe even less, if he calls this off here.
9.9, yeah?
Just checking the itinerary, see what he's going to be left with. Trying to get a read from Mormon. Mormon giving nothing away, stoic as ever at the table. Does Carl Shaw want to be a hero? Doesn't.
Yeah, good fold. I really think that particular hand needs to fold. Even getting that good of a price. He's just blocking way too many of Mormon's bluffs. He also had the 9 of spades and the 9 of hearts, so he was blocking a lot of those gut shot backdoor flush draws like 9-6 suited, which are, you know, the most natural check raise bluffs for Chris to find are those backdoor flush draw ones.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/YT. Make a new account with bonus code YT73 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
You know, there was a lot of back and forth about the streaming schedule here in Vegas during the WPT World Championship, about whether or not to stream from the start of this tournament, you know, day 2 coverage all the way through to the final table. I hope it's something we continue doing. It really allows us to build up those storylines. We're there for the bubble. We're there for, you know, the online qualifiers, the people that have won packages for nothing, making life-changing amounts of money, even in the form of a min cash for some people. It's just fantastic to see. And while there are 25Ks and 50Ks going during the series, a bit of TV time for, you know, the recreationals and the poker enthusiasts that don't typically get to be on TV as often as some of the high rollers do. So really appreciate having full coverage of this event.
Yeah, the story building especially. I love following someone from early on and then somehow they're still in day 6, day 7. It's
mustache
really
Mark.
special. Mustache Mark, man.
Here we go.
How is he doing, by the way? Do we
He's
have his
still in. He's doing well.
current chip count?
Yeah, average stack over on the outer table.
Average stack? Nice.
Oh no. Jason, top pair against bottom set. And strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. There may be fireworks here. The only saving grace, perhaps, the run out for Jason, as it is an incredibly wet flop texture. Going to be a lot of straight completing turns. Diamonds and hearts out there as well.
Chewy has a really nice hand to check raise right away as well. He's just unblocking all of the top and middle pairs that would be forced to continue versus a check raise. It's the type of board texture, like you said, there's only a few turn cards that wouldn't change the board in some way. So the type of board texture where you want to put more money in now before bad cards come off. You can't get value later on.
This could be one of the biggest hands of the day so far, as Chewy has check raised to 6.7 million, and Jason is going to be continuing in some fashion.
Yeah, Queen Jack just far too strong to be folding to the check raise, especially against a player as capable as Chewy. Maybe if you're real dialed into a particular player and you think they're
17 million.
Oh, he's just said all you can eat. Lucky Chewy is a 98% favorite to be up to 56 million.
That's really bad.
And I believe if he finds the hold here, Jesse, he's going to be tournament chip leader with 12 left. Hold your breath as he turns him dead.
That'll do it.
Not even a sweat for the Octopi Poker co-founder and poker legend, Andrew Lichtenberger, so known as Lucky Chewy, up to 56.2 million. And now in pole position to take this one down, throwing it to a very short commercial. Don't go too far.
This has been some of the craziest first few hours of a final day before the final table I've ever seen. In terms of how aggressive the players have been, the action, how some of the hands have played out. Some very exciting turns in river cards. And now Chewy looks down at a really strong hand on the button, ace queen offsuit. Oh no, this is tough to watch.
Very easily the swingiest graph of the day. Jason came in 19.2 million, vaulted up into the chip lead in just one level. Now finds himself with 1 foot out of the door. Ace Jack against the button open and has himself in rough shape, dominated by the ace queen of Chewy. Could be down to 11 here, Jesse, if Chewy can find the hold. Here we go. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen.
If you told me 8 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, that Jason would be 71% to be out of the tournament, probably wouldn't have believed you.
Jason Min, old school grinder from East Meadow, New York, with a lifeline perhaps on the 10-9-8, 2 spades.
That's a lot of flop for a board that doesn't give him a jack. Backdoor flush draw.
is this just too many outs now? You tell me.
Some excitement.
Queen 7 spade needed for Jason. Doesn't find it.
Wow.
Good game, brother.
The board pairs. Lucky Chewy holds and is up to 70
Hope
million.
you feel better.
Jason Min out in 12th. Going to be going home with 456,500, but Jesse.
Feel it. I
Wow.
don't look either.
Wow. That's hilarious, bro.
Look, if you look down at 7 deuce when you received a walk, it doesn't feel nearly as good as looking down at aces feels bad.
Yeah. That's very true. Talking of aces.
Speaking of aces, wow.
Hello.
Chris Mormon. You made it to day 6 of far and away the biggest prize pool WPT of all time. You're
Well,
closing in on making the final table. You look down on the button at pocket aces.
Carl Shaw with high card, low card. We know what Corneth would do. Chance Corneth that is. Carl passing up on it. Maxime with 25 bigs. Just going to defend.
Wow. And that's certainly a hand that could go either way.
It really is.
He
Didn't
is-
really waste much time at all. Oh, no.
God. I was going to say he has no idea how much danger he just avoided by not considering the all-in, and now he's seen a flop where he just... I mean, I don't know how he gets away from this.
Jesse, this could be showers. There's 5.5 out there. SPR around 4.5. Mormon continuing for 1.8.
This is even the type of board that he would probably want to check raise right away. This is brutal. We'll see. Maybe he finds a check call.
Reasons for the check raise?
I mean, obviously it's two-tone, so your opponents can have more draws. You'd like to deny equity or charge those draws now. He does find the check raise. The 10-5 deuce, he's not really expecting Mormon to open things like 10 deuce suited or 10-5 offsuit, so there's just so many fewer hands that he's actually dominated by. Of course, Mormon can have jacks through aces, but he is on the button. Those don't make up a large portion of Mormon's opening range.
8.5.
Oh, it's the flop 3-bet.
Mormon.
8.5 million. Looking to play for it all.
Mormon did that awfully quickly. Did he use a time bank
He
there?
did. I believe he did
Okay.
use a time bank.
Sometimes I get to talking and time goes by and I don't realize it. It's a gift and a curse, Henry.
Happens to the best of us. Maxime with the decision. Does he just want to play for it all? Right here. Right now. $110,000 ladder between 11th and 10th. Flop top pair, top kicker in a single raise pot. Big blind V button. It's Chris Mormon with the flop 3-bet.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's all going in, Jesse. We're playing a 50 million chip pot. He's loving life as he snap calls. Do apologize, 54 million chip pot it'll be. Maxime with just 500k back.
Oh, man. It felt like only a few minutes ago that Maxine had 50 million himself in chips, and
sweat
now
it.
he's 10%.
What's that? Now I gotta sweat it.
9% to be in the tournament.
You don't know what you're sweating.
Oh
The
yeah, I know.
whole butterfly effect of
Potentially
showing
I
up
noticed,
late
but
as well.
Of what?
Showing up
Potentially you
late
do.
Yeah.
in the break.
Oh, that's sick. Didn't even
Dude.
think about that.
Like
The
whoever-
cards would have been different had he sat down.
I mean, whoever held him up,
18.
It's basically their fault.
it's it's their fault. Whoever it was that pulled him to the side in the hallway to tell him a bad beat story.
Deserves a stern talking to.
Does still have outs.
To tell him a bad beat story. Could you imagine the lack of self-awareness? Telling a bad beat story to someone who's 11 left in the... Anyways, back to this hand.
53 million in the middle. Chris Moorman is 2 cards away from tying for the chip lead with Lucky Chewy. Now, I think it's safe to assume that Maxime is going to stall. Makes sense, given that we are on a 110k ladder. Well,
Yeah, I think you take your time here. Definite non-zero
I do
chance
this
that somebody
myself.
busts on the other table before you.
Such a fish. Oh, I get Cena. Alright, I have aces.
Aces are good, Moorman. They're good for now. 95% of the time, Chris Moorman is going to be tied for the chip lead with 10 left in the WPT World Championship. And he does find the hold.
Good game, man. Nice playing with you.
Wow.
GG's all round
Yeah.
as Maxime Gillard bows out in 11th in just a brutal spot.
I'm a fish.
Well, I got a funny feeling that after today's stream, octopipoker.ai, you're going to have a lot of incoming requests. People looking to sign up and join Chewy.
Got about 70, she said.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
What's going on?
When it rains, it pours.
On?
Oh, look at this, too.
Wow. John taking the rejam spot from the small.
I have aces.
Chewy
Aces?
Yes, sir.
with aces on the button.
Yes, sir.
Just aces.
Just aces. John Richards
I'm glad my other one
from
didn't.
Roxana, Illinois, all in at risk. Does have 18% equity, but in dire straits, especially
Not a very good board.
on the ace-10-4 board.
That's a tough flop. You see the 10.
Good luck, guys.
Oh, maybe I got a shot.
Dead on the turn, Jesse. And with that,
Hey, good luck. Good luck.
we lose John Richards in 10th place. Gonna be going home with a career best cash of 566,900. And Lucky Chewy has 25% of the chips in play.
Somewhere in the distance, they're playing 6, 12, 12. We're out here playing 500, 1 mil, 1 mil. How does it feel, fellas?
Artur happy to run it for his final 8.5 bigs, effectively jamming out of the cutoff. What does Mark want to do here?
All in.
He's going to take the spot. One of Mark's outs Dead in the hands of Mormon. Cards on their backs, ladies and gentlemen. Artur Martirosyan, all in at risk, but with 57% of the equity. Looking to get back in this.
Artur's got to be loving it, seeing the King Jack after watching the quick all-in. Not a lot of hands that he's ahead of
Good luck, bro. Good luck, Carter.
when he's called that quickly.
Mustache Mark looking to get there and ladder an extra 155,000 as it comes.
Wow.
Queen 10-4. 13 ounce twice.
Sweat.
How about that for a sweat?
Dealer's just trying to make it as fun as possible out here.
We know what everyone else is rooting for. Wow, is Artur just going to hold the ace-6 here? That is insane. One card to come. Pain.
Wow.
Pain for everyone else. Not for that man. Finds the hold across turn and river. Artur up to 18.6. Mustache Mark down to just 14 bigs.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/YT. Make a new account with bonus code YT73 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
Feel free to tag me in it on Twitter if any of you guys out there do get creative enough. There's 15,000 of you. I'm sure someone is smart enough to put that together in 30 seconds.
Raise to 2.4.
Don't forget to include the double tiger hat if you're working on that Photoshop.
That is true.
Chewy with a legitimate hand here. Oh my god. And yeah. This is going to go all in and call, I believe. Don't think Chewy's getting away from this one. 12 blinds deep. I don't know how long it's been since a couple of the earlier hands that Ben has played, but certainly if Chewy got that info, he's going to be feeling great about this call. And for Ben, maybe this is the beginning of a turnaround. He's had a tough day so far.
Really has. Came in to day 6 as tournament chip leader. To get back up to 30 million. Good for 25 bigs if he can just hold here. With the kings as it comes ace high. And we've already seen one king folded. Case king needed for Ben Jacobs. The man from Honolulu, Hawaii, going to be the first elimination at this unofficial final table. Benjamin Jacobs out in 9th after his kings coming up short against the ace-queen suited of Lucky Chewy. Going to be going home with 566,900, playing down to 6. That's the plan for tonight.
Oh my goodness. Chewy.
Man, the chip leader running well and playing well with rejammable stacks behind. 2.4 million. Dan's going to get out of there, as is Artur. Mark looks interested, and he's got the tens. just had that look on his face. Gonna check the itinerary. Is the immediate short stack. The inevitable rejam.
The cooler heard around the world.
11.5 bigs. Chris gonna get out of there. Chewy gonna make the call with the aces. And Mustache Mark is in rough shape. Not to state the obvious, but drawing very thin, both flush draws covered.
This is my fault. I got too confident.
You kind of did. Ace, King, 9.
Not the sort of flop you like to see.
An unstoppable force and an immovable object are really just the same as Andrew boats up on the turn and we lose perhaps the legend of the tournament, even though he's come up short here. Mustache Mark, that became one of the fan favorites from day 4 after getting involved at the feature table in some fun hands. The legend, that is Mustache Mark. Jesse, with that elimination, we are now on a bubble, the end of day 6 bubble, as well as the 6-figure score bubble. The last of the 6-figure payouts for 7th place, 928,900 guaranteed now for these final 7. One more ladder, and we will be bagging and tagging for day 7, where the final 6 will come back guaranteed 7 figures.
Sorry, Henry. I'm just gonna need a couple moments.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
Stack of 20, yeah. Yes, sir.
That one really hurt.
No.
Chris.
Oh, wow.
Just says run it.
Look at this. I assume Carl hasn't looked at his hand yet.
Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Mormon's run into it. Carl Shaw currently 6 of 7. All in for his tournament life. If he can just hold here with the ace king,
Elimination?
he'll move up
Yeah,
to
right.
3rd in chips.
Oh, look at this flop.
8-6-6. Sweaty for the young Brit. New school, the old school. Mormon looking for a 10-9 or a 7.
And if he finds it, we are down.
Oh
my, right off the top.
Just like that.
Yeah, man.
7 of clubs on the turn. Back-to-back eliminations, and we go from 8 to 6. In the blink of an eye, Carl Shaw going around shaking everyone's hand. I mean, Jesse, I'm at a loss for words. We were just mourning the departure of Mustache Mark, and now Carl Shaw out in 7th.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to wptglobal.com/hustler. Make a new account with bonus code YT74 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
Not counting him out just yet. That man is very capable of turning things back around. Just 26 years old, 12.58 million in live earnings. A multitude of 6- and 7-figure scores. And you know, Jesse, only 9 players in poker history have won a Triple Crown. If Artur can close this out here, he'll become the 10th poker player in history.
Really?
It will indeed.
I had no idea that he had
Bracelet and EPT.
Yeah, I had no idea about that.
Just looking for a WPT title.
Do you have to win an EPT main for that? Wow. He's really done it all.
Dan raises. He makes it 6.2.
And watching him the last couple days,
Archer folds.
it's no surprise he's had a lot of success. He's played phenomenally. Found a number of bluffs that almost no other player in the tournament would have found. Just really fun to watch him play.
Talking of fun to watch,
Andrew makes the
Daniel
call.
Sepiol 3-betting with the King 10 of hearts on the button. Chewy has him dominated. 32 million out there.
Flop is 4-3-3. 4 spades, 3 hearts, 3 of diamonds.
We may be heading
Andrew
to
checks.
a turn, my man. 4-3-3. See what Sepiol brings here.
Both players flopping overcards, backdoor flush draw. I'd imagine Daniel comes with a small c-bet. And Chewy's going to be getting a great price. He knows that he's
3.5.
on a board like this. He's still beating all of the same hands that he was beating pre-flop. Can't imagine he's going anywhere yet.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Sepiol continuing small and wide.
Andrew makes the call.
Chewy got to keep him honest for at least one street. Sizable pot brewing. One of the biggest
Turn
pots
card
of the night so
is
far.
a 9 of diamonds.
Oh, wow. That is a Chewy doesn't fold card.
It is indeed, and one would have to imagine, unless Sepiol just really goes for it here, across turn and river, that Chewy is going to find a way to win this one.
Tricky spot for Daniel. You generally don't prefer firing the second barrel when you have a flop backdoor straight draw that didn't turn, or sorry, flop backdoor flush draw that didn't turn into a flush draw on the turn. Blocking hands like that is never what you're looking for. That said, he has 2 overcards to the board. He has a hand that he knows won't win at showdown, so decent candidate to run the second barrel with.
Andrew makes the call.
Chewy calls really quickly. It will be interesting to see how Daniel
Third card
perceives
is the 3 of clubs.
what that means.
Andrew checks.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Jesse. He's fired flop, barreled on the turn. Is Sepiol about to empty the clip with just king high against Lucky Chewy? Has to be concerned. The flop call, the turn call. Chewy has a pocket pair. Maybe some big traps.
God, this is
Aces
such a
and
massive...
kings.
Sorry to interrupt you. This is such a massive spot. It's ridiculous.
I mean, he's going to go down. It's an absolute legend if he finds this. It's going to make the highlight reel for sure. Oh, my word.
Wow.
Daniel
Moved all
Sepiol,
in.
take a bow.
This has to work, right?
3-bet pre, bet flop turn, and now moves all in on the river.
No call.
And
Wow.
gets it done. Daniel Sepiol, son. How'd you like them apples, Jesse?
That was such an enormous swing. And he let the king 3 go. You could...
Here we go.
I can certainly find arguments
Chris raises to 2.4.
for calling there.
Chris raises 2.4. Ben.
Reasons to talk yourself into it, but he remained disciplined, and that was massive for him.
Hold on, Jesse.
This could get interesting.
How about this for high morale? Chris, second in chips, opening from under the gun. Chip leader in the cutoff with ace jack.
call.
Got to just flat call.
Dan folds. Archer is out.
Note Sepiol's table presence, by the way. It's been really staring people down, even when he's not involved in the hand. Just like trying to pick up on anything, any live tells, any reads. some mannerisms as Georgios does defend the
Georgios
big.
makes the call. Three
Three-way
players
affair
stop
here.
Going to the flop.
3 very legitimate hands.
First 3 are a jack of hearts,
Jack
10 of
10,
diamonds,
5.
and
Chewy
5
with
of
top.
diamonds.
Georgios with middle pair, backdoor hearts. Chris with the 2 overs. And gut shot to Broadway.
Chris is just going to fire right out.
Chris bets 3 million.
This is quite a statement. Generally, when you're at a position in these multi-way pots, you start with a lot of checks. And so when you do bet, you're representing a
And
fairly
makes
strong
the
range
call.
of hands. Andrew recognizing this, he's just going to call. Also, Chris is the second largest stack in the tournament, so Andrew's highly incentivized to keep the pot small, especially
folds.
versus him.
Heads up now. We'll go to the
Mostly
turn.
versus him, really.
It is a queen of clubs.
Oh, look at this turn. It's just right off the top of the deck. No waiting.
0 delay. From Ormond, just pings it. Queen of clubs on the turn, giving him the nut straight. 15 million out there. Value to be extracted
10
against
seconds.
the tournament chip leader. Looks
Chris
like
bets
60%.
9 million.
Yeah, and with that queen turn, we now have a very clear board where Mormon has a range advantage.
No call. Chris wins the pot.
He has all of the ace kings. He has the pocket queens. He has the pocket jacks. Just a terrible card for Chewy. He lets it go immediately. And by the way, obviously he only has second pair, but that was a big fold.
Career best cash for Sepiel, Mormon, and Georgios.
Andrew folds. Fold.
So I do believe, Jesse, final hand of the level before we head into our first break of the day. We remain 6-handed.
Georgios folds.
And I think we're coming back to 800, 1.6 million.
That's a sizable jump. I'd be surprised. We haven't seen jumps like that
Maybe
up until now.
Maybe 1 million, 1.5 million, something along those lines.
I guess we'll find out when we return from break.
3 million.
Chris making it 2.5x to go. Note the sizing from Chris here, by the way, from the small. Doesn't need to go huge. Just this size alone really putting the pressure on Ben. He's kind of handcuffed at the moment with Arthur as short as he is.
Yeah, Ben in position. He
10
does
seconds.
have
A call from Ben.
one of those hands that can flop a straight flush draw. You know how I feel about folding those pre-flop
Ben
from the
makes
big
the
blinds. But like you said, just super handcuffs
flop is
with the way the stacks are set up. Oh, look at this.
Hello.
9 on the flop. 3 of clubs.
Top
Oh,
2
wow.
for Ben Heath.
Diamonds.
Top pair queen kicker for Chris Mormon.
I'm actually not sure how Chris gets away from this one.
This one feels inevitable, Jesse.
Chris.
Given that Ben's
Bets
got just
2.4.
27 million back.
2.4.
So many straight draws out there.
2,400,000.
Open-enders, gut shots. Weaker top pairs. A queen kicker. Pretty strong blind v blind.
Mm-hmm. There's a chance that Ben slow plays. Top 2, not usually the type of hand that you would pick to slow play with, but yeah, Ben just
I just told him.
wants to call
24 bet
so
call.
much of his range. he might just mix every hand in there as a
Deuce
call.
of clubs on the turn.
And make it easier to play. Look at this, turn flush draw.
Not to state the obvious, but biggest brick, or one of the biggest bricks in the deck, only the 4-5 completing. Norman likely to still feel good about his hand here. SPR of 2. That looks like a sizable turn barrel, Jesse.
This bet's 7
Wow.
million.
And the question is, if you're Ben, how do you perceive this big bet? Because if you feel like this size is very committing, then you just pile it in now. Before a bad card comes off and maybe Chris doesn't pay you off on the river.
10 seconds.
Yeah,
But if you,
4, 5, 7, 8, 10 overcards.
yeah, there's just nearly every card in this deck.
And the call.
But if you feel like Chris can have bluffs here, and obviously Ben knows that Chris is a strong enough player to find the bluffs in this spot,
River card is a king of clubs.
then slow playing becomes a really nice option. Let him continue. We know that Chris would have put the money in the pot with the hand that he had, but let's say Chris has something like 8-10 with the 10 of clubs. That hand would be going for it right now.
10 seconds.
Well, looks like the Queen 9. Going to be going for it.
Wow.
He's reaching for chips. 26 million out there.
11 million.
Oh, man.
11 million fired into the middle as the backdoor clubs do get there for Ben, who already had a strong lock on the hand with top 2.
This is quite thin by Chris, considering the circumstances. Considering the ICM implications that Ben
10 seconds.
has to deal with.
This is going to be a huge shift at
Time
this
extension.
final table. Both Ben, Chris, and Sepiel are all going to be kind of tied in second place. Then there's going to be a bit of a drop-off to Georgios, and then obviously the immediate short stack in Artur Martirosyan. So really changing the way things are shaping up here at this final.
Very much so. Do you think that Ben is legitimately considering just calling this river bet?
I
do you
think so.
Yeah.
Time extension.
Using 2 time extensions. 17.5 back, 11 million on request.
Obviously, Ben thinks he has the best hand a huge majority of the time. The problem for him is that sometimes Chris
10
folds
seconds.
a number of his value
All in.
hands
All in.
when Ben
All in.
jams. And in the off chance
Then he's moved all in.
that Ben isn't good, saving that last 6 million and giving yourself the chance to spin it
Chris
up is always
folds.
nice.
Ben Heath wins the pot.
Wow.
No nonsense from Mormon. Doesn't get attached to his hand, despite being laid 9-1. Getting towards that point,
Yeah,
Jesse. Getting a bit rowdy out there now. No ladders so far.
There you go, teamwork, right?
But it's getting to that stage of the tournament.
I think the Brits need one of those little morale booster cheers where your guy hasn't won a pot.
3.6.
You're not cheering for that. You're just sort of reminding him that you're there.
Well, we'll see. He's in the big blind right now. UK on UK violence.
You really hate to see that.
Georgios just trying to compose himself.
Fold. Action, Chris.
Oh, look at this too. Chris has a very legitimate hand in the big blind.
Heads up to the flop.
Oof.
Jack 6, deuce 2.
Oh my.
Chris checks.
What a flop.
Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
Now-
suggesting it, the idea of the UK on UK violence, but the dealer just fanning the Jack-6 deuce. Both players with top pair under the gun v big blind. Apologies, Jesse, go on.
No, I was just going to say that Ben is certainly going to have a fairly tight range that opens from under the gun,
2.6 million.
given the way stacks are laid out. So generally when you have a stronger range preflop, you increase how often you c-bet, maybe just c-bet 100%.
Call.
Chris is normally looking to do nothing but check calling until he has a hand as strong as 2-pair.
word.
Wow, look at this. And it's a heart as well.
Top 2 for Ben now. Mormon with top pair, top kicker. With the nut flush redraw. Heart or an ace needed. 14.8 million out there. This is 2 of the middling stacks going after one another. One of the most decorated online players of all time against one of the
River, queen of diamonds.
most winningest live players in the modern game. Does brick out.
Chris checks.
Ben with a somewhat tricky check back on the turn with top 2. And I think that's going to cost him here because we know Chris would pay off a bet with top pair, nut flush draw. But now with the queen on the river, it's going to be much more difficult to extract from second pair.
10 seconds. Time extension.
Jesse, you're saying that Ben potentially missing out on value. I have to ask, is there ever a world in which Mormon finds a path to victory? Should Ben find the river bet here? I mean, flop C bet, called turn check check. Mormon now checking it on over to Ben for a third time, with the intention to potentially check jam with that all-important ace of hearts.
I mean, I'm certainly not counting that out. Chris is so far beyond capable of pulling the trigger here, and he has the exact type of hand you would want to do that with.
Heath has fired out a healthy bet.
10 seconds.
Around half pot.
I actually think that Chris prefers having something like ace-jack over having a hand like ace-queen with the ace of hearts, because he'd like Ben to have the maximum number of rivered 2-pairs. Those are presumably a large chunk of the hands that Ben would bet and then fold to a shove. So something like queen 10 is really nice for Ben to have. If Ben has like queen 10 of spades, for instance, that's the type of hand that will feel compelled to value bet on the river, but will probably fold to a shove. Oh, here it comes.
Mormon woke up and
Oh,
chose
this is-
violence as he comes for the check raise.
It just doesn't get any better than these moments.
35 million.
Really putting Heath in the absolute blender here. After checking turn and going for some thin value on the river has opened the door for Mormon to punish.
God, this is just such an impossible spot for Ben. He has
Fold.
no
Chris
blockers.
Norman
Yep.
with spot.
Wow, look at you go, Chris.
On Twitter, getting involved in the conversation, watching the stream with us. Said, I've never seen someone start eating while facing a multi-million-dollar decision. Obviously referring to Georgios Soteropoulos. It was deep in the tank with top 2 against the river check raise. There's Chewy.
I mean, this guy's a boss. It's very clear.
I mean, look, the flapjack play is strong.
Fold.
If you're cool, calm, and collected enough to even consider eating while facing
Ben folds.
that level of decision, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever have that.
Andrew folds.
Give yourself some credit, Jesse.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
10 seconds.
5 million? 5.
Daniel's going to raise it up in the small
5
blinds.
million.
Oh, wow.
Just north of 3x. Artur playing 25 bigs just north.
Well, pair on pair violence. How does Artur perceive
10 seconds.
Daniel's raising range?
All in.
Oh.
And obviously he thinks he can have a
All
number
in.
of bluffs.
Oh, hang on. We were just saying that we might be getting to break without an elimination if Sepiel calls here. We're going to be 5 cards away from our first elimination unless Artur can spike a 2-outer. What is this, Jesse? 26 bigs?
Yeah, this is actually so sick for Daniel.
This is really close, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, you may be dominating a few pairs, but you're also dominated by some pairs. And if your opponent does have 2 overcards, you do not want to be flipping for a huge chunk of your
43
stack
million
at this.
and a call.
Oh, he's made the call,
wow,
Jesse.
yeah. He's going to be so happy when he sees what Artur
We
has.
have
Buckle up,
Pocket 7
ladies and gentlemen.
versus Pocket 5's 7 spades,
87.6
7
million in the middle. If Sepiel
hearts,
can
5
hold
clubs.
here, it's going to be up to 110 million. Practically tied atop of the chip counts with Lucky Chewy. After coming into today, 5 of 6.
Sevens.
Getting the bluff of the tournament through with the entire poker world watching.
7 of spades, 7 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, 5 of clubs.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the bluff earlier. This is
at risk.
This is a wild swing.
We'll need a 5 or another way to improve.
Not to state the obvious, but
We're going to see the flop.
biggest pot of both these players' careers.
8 of clubs,
Comes
King of diamonds,
King, Queen 8,
Queen of
2 clubs.
King
Artur,
diamonds,
the only
Queen of
player with a
clubs,
club in
King
hand.
clubs.
2 cards away from a $377,000 ladder.
Turn card, please.
Oh, wow.
Arthur does pick up a flush draw.
Would be a dirty way to do it.
Surely the poker gods wouldn't punish Daniel after that sick bluff earlier.
And sick call here with the 7s. 11 outs once
And the river.
from Arthur Ocean.
Ace of
Ooh.
spades.
Sepiel finds the hold with the 7s on the sweaty run out. He's up to 105 million.
Sixth place.
Artur out in 6th for 1,207,000. And with that elimination, Jesse, everyone now guaranteed 1,583,000.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/hustler. Make a new account with bonus code YT74 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
Oh, that's great.
Level 2 of the day.
From Ben.
You see? You see it? This one did too. I wiped it off though.
Just a couple of minutes left on the clock before we head into our second
It
break.
might come off. I just didn't want to fuck with it too much yet.
And finally, the bubble, if you will, has burst. First pay jump of the day with the
Dan,
departure
fold from Georgios.
of Artur Martirosyan.
I do feel like there's
Chris.
a large feeling of relief when you're at a final table in the
Always.
first person. Yeah.
Always, man. I mean, immediately Ben Heath and Chewy just having a bit of a chat.
Spades, Queen of Hearts, 5 of Clubs.
Yeah, it's not equal to the value of the first pay jump. It's like you feel more relief going from 6 to 5 sometimes than you do from the next 2 pay jumps. It's just getting one out of the way feels very good.
10 seconds.
Some of the nerves begin to dissipate.
Fun flop this one. Ben Heath checking on over to Daniel with top pair. Sepio with the gut shot to Broadway, backdoor spades, overcard as well, all working for him.
Check.
Happy to just see a turn card in position. As he turns the nuts, Jesse,
10 seconds.
with the redraw to the royal flush, just in case it was needed.
Not even the 10 of diamonds, you know, just put that 10 of spades right out there.
Ben with a very disguised top pair as well. Did check on the flop.
I would not be surprised to
10
see another
seconds.
check here. The 10 is certainly a board-changing type of card.
Check.
A lot of the Broadway is just
10 of Spades on turn.
caught up in some way. Ace-Jack
Queen
improves to
10,
a straight.
5.
Queen 10 makes 2 pair. King-Jack was already ahead.
3.5.
3.5 million. From Dan.
Dan decides to pick the small bet. Having spades in his hand, I think I like this.
Don't see Ben getting away from this just yet.
No, certainly not
10
versus a
seconds.
third.
Feels like an
Pot.
illegal fold.
It doesn't even feel good to call here, but you're getting such a great
Call.
price. You just only need to realize 20% of the pot.
Oh, my
no.
Eight
word.
of Hearts.
Wow.
What a disgusting river
And a
card
check.
dealer. 2 pair for Ben. 18.2 million in the middle. Checking it on over for a third time. Don't forget, flop went check, check.
What a completely absurd run out. 10 of spades, offsuit 8. It just doesn't get any worse.
What are you doing here in Sepio's shoes after getting called
12.6.
on the turn? Okay, he's going 2/3.
12.6 million.
Just a snap
And a
call
call.
from Ben. It's going to get shown the bad news. And
Jack
Jesse, we have ourselves a new chip leader.
Wow.
Daniel Sepio from Vegas.
Just doing nothing wrong. As far as main events for a tournament series go, I mean, this is top of the charts for final table. I would want to run back and check out.
There's
know,
a lot to take away from this for sure. And for now, for me, you know, from an entertainment point of view, Chewy with the kings. Couldn't get busy from the cutoff.
3-bet me now, big guy.
And it raises to 4 million.
Big man Dan, what you got?
Nothing.
10-5 pitches it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Soteropoulos with a pair of his own Djangos.
The Djangos.
The Djangos.
Huh.
15 bigs from the small. bit anticlimactic given that he's already chopped a massive pot. Against Chewy with the same hand, does take the rejam.
All in for Georgios.
Chris going to get out of there.
Chris folds.
Call.
And
Likely
call.
a chop pot, but you never know.
Two kings versus two kings.
Kings on kings.
The black king.
They are going to chop this up 96% of the time, but look, Jesse, it does happen. We've seen people be four flush before, but surely in a spot like this, the poker gods will be merciful. There will be no further blood.
Two spades. Two spades. 8, 6,
Brutal.
5.
As the Greekman's rail
spades, 8, 6
explodes.
spades, and a 5 of hearts.
He does have a free roll. Two spades on flop.
The Greeks cheered pretty hard when he chopped a pot earlier. Imagine if he takes a chop pot and finds the win. Oh.
It'll be a split pot.
Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, timing really is everything in this game. Having to raise fold in a couple of spots really just makes the difference between having a very healthy, playable 25, 30 bigs or kind of being in that dangerous territory of 15 big blinds or so.
Dan folds.
Oh, I wonder if Georgios just rips this here. Mormon is at that stack depth now. You could certainly see these two collide.
One of Dan's fans in the background cheering on his pre-flop fold and then starting a little chant about it.
You'd love to see it. But we can't just celebrate the big pots, you know.
That's a dedicated homie right there. Just cheering on your cut-off open muck.
8 million, 36 million. 36 million.
Norman, 15.5 bigs. So there's 15.7 bigs, one invested.
It's the right stack to gamble against. You want to take chips away from the next biggest stack much more than the other players. It means a lot more for you in terms of getting pay jumps, but Queen Jack might just not be enough hand here.
10 seconds.
The rails are going to erupt if these two collide.
Time extension.
Yeah.
Norman really mulling over this decision here. This isn't posturing. Really thinking about calling this. It's on the cusp.
Oof, he almost did it.
Oh, I feel like he's going to do it, Jesse.
I do too. If this were a cash game, he would have flicked
Oh,
it
he's
in.
done it.
Oh my goodness.
He's made the call.
He's got Queen Jack. He's up
So
against
brutal
King, Queen.
to see King Queen after making that really close decision.
Queen Jack for Chris.
68.8 million in the middle as Mormon makes the call out of the big for his final 16.5 big blinds. Georgios in fantastic shape with the dominating hand to get us from 4 to 3 for everyone to ladder an additional pay jump.
The Greeks are something else, man.
Good luck calculating how much this one is worth. 700,000 ladder. It's the immediate pay jump.
We'll go to the flop.
By the way, if I'm Mormon right now, I'm like, can we perhaps see a board rather than count out my stack?
Flop is a 10 ace.
Ooh, ace 10.
Ace 10.
Outs are reversed.
10 of spades. Now king would be straight.
the man. What's that? Mustafa's the man.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, I love him. So, 10 years ago in Monaco, Darius at a final table.
Is that Mustafa just going wild?
Sure is.
On the rail of Geo.
He's going
A turn card's coming up.
Comes the turn.
It's an eye.
Deuce called
Oh.
for. Hello.
An 8 would be a straight.
Oh, wow.
An 8 would be a straight. And
Chris Moorman,
Chris Moorman.
one of the most winningest online players of all time. One card away from elimination.
It's a 7. Just a bit off.
Can't get there.
Oh, God, that's so close.
7 of hearts completes the run out, and we lose the online legend, Chris Moorman. The WPT take down that top prize of 5.6 million. By the way, no talks of a deal at all. And you have to ask yourself at this stack depth, around 40 big blinds average, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, who's saying no to the deal? And why are they saying no?
I could see arguments for any
Fold from Georgios.
of the players at the table denying any deal talks. Obviously, it's easy to say that a player like Chewy has had so much success at the biggest buy-ins, has the most experience, might be him, but honestly, oh, this is
Hold on, Jesse.
really something.
Singing the praises of Chewy. Money might be going in here. 55 bigs effective
10
pre-flop.
seconds.
And given
8.5.
that Chewy has been limping,
Raise 8.5.
I want to say every small blind so far, he's been playing a straight up limp strat from the small. Daniel bumping it up to 8.5. Does money just go in here?
I do recall a hand, maybe 11-handed yesterday, where Chewy was up against another big stack and just limp
10
called out of the small blind with ace-king offsuit. I wonder if he does it again. Nope. I think he's just decided that Daniel is likely to be much wider than other players in this situation.
32.5. 32
I mean, this
million,
is
500,000.
this could be a flip for 80% of the chips in play or something.
I mean, go figure. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite easily about to be the biggest flip of both of these players' careers, assuming that Daniel rips this in here.
By the way, if you're Daniel and you rip it and you get snapped off, you feel terrible about it. Obviously, you can be flipping occasionally, but
Time extension.
you're almost never ahead. And a lot of Chewy's limp raises are going to be the overpairs to jacks. It's definitely not inconceivable to see a world where Daniel just calls here.
All in.
Oh my
All
word.
in.
Wow.
All
He's
in and a
moved
call.
all in and does get snapped.
Oh my.
287 million
All in and a call.
chip pot.
We have ace of
I mean-
clubs, king of diamonds, jack of hearts, jack of diamonds.
And as Jesse Silvio mentioned, this is for about 75% of the chips in play. Biggest flip
Ace
of their
clubs.
lives.
This is
Ace
crazy.
king versus pocket jacks.
And to flip in this spot for both players, this feels terrible.
Look how calm they both look, by the way.
Perfect choices. I really like the pizza, and this one's very good. Thank you.
Unfazed.
Gio.
The situation they find themselves in. Yeah, Gio just loving life. I mean,
Gio's going nuts right now.
$1 million ladder
Going
between
to the
second and third. Gio just doing backflips.
Gio's like, just don't put us straight out on the board, for the love of God.
Queen.
Wow.
Pleased by the dealer. Queen 9-7 so
Queen
far.
of spades,
Wow.
nine of
Safe
spades,
for
seven of
Daniel.
clubs, jacks still in the lead.
Sepiel, who came in 5 of 6,
Turn
now
card,
2
please.
cards away from an overwhelming chip lead
Deuce of hearts.
to get heads up this
Deuce of
WPT
hearts.
World Championship. Chewy with 6 outs once. Biggest river card of both their careers. The jacks are going to hold, Jesse. Blind v blind, as cold as it gets from the deck. Ace King not able to get there against the jacks of Sepiel. And Lucky Chewy is going to have to bow out in third.
Starting to get to that point in the night where I'm glad you're the one who's doing the math.
All right. Georgio's
Yeah,
made
really.
it 6 million.
When you said 4 to 1, I was like, yeah, it looks right. And then you said 6 to 1, I'm like, yeah, it looks right too.
I'm feeling it. It's been a long couple of weeks, but I'm glad to have been a part of it all.
And a call.
Alongside yourself, Jamie Kerstetter, Ashley Frank, AJ Rudolph, I know Ashley Sleeth, Jeff Platt, Nick Shulman, Melissa, all in the booth.
Yeah. Or can we go a little bit into the next level, so I at least can change the
Phil
one
Galfond?
hand at the next level?
Phil Galfond. How can I
One hand
forget
at the next
Uncle
level.
Phil?
Okay. One
Coming
hand.
in for the
Let's do one hand at
PLO.
the next level, so they-
He lets you call him Uncle Phil?
He's actually
Ace, King,
my uncle.
8.
Wow. That is nice.
Couldn't even keep a straight face as I said that, but yeah, Uncle Phil.
Kind of check does he put in the birthday cards?
You focus on the checks that you get delivered to your household, Jesse, all right? Don't worry about
Ace of spades, king
the checks
of
I'm
clubs,
picking up.
8 of hearts. Georgios has bet 7.2 million.
Sounds like I need to check my privilege, huh?
How about this? Straight back.
Turn card is a 6.
Wow, I mean, how
of
does he just find the 6 of hearts on the turn?
Check.
28.9 out there.
This could be a pot. This is the type of hand that wants to run it. He's picked up equity. He has no hearts. He has a hand that cannot win at
Georgios
showdown.
bets 15 million.
If this gets check called, I would not be surprised if Georgios ran the triple on a river brick.
And the call's been made.
Daniel calls awfully quickly here.
Nine of clubs. On
Oh
the
my
check from Dan.
The backdoor Bangkok rolling off clean in the highest equity spot of this man's career.
All in.
Couldn't have scripted it.
Dan's asked for a count here.
Sepiel with a bluff catcher. If he calls,
28.
Georgios is going to be playing close to 120 million. Is going to be straight back in this fight.
And a call.
Oh, he's made the call.
He's got bar 7 for a straight.
Oh,
No, he thought he won.
Oh my word.
He's got a straight. He's got a straight.
Oh no, what a spot.
5-7 straight.
That is sick.
That really is. Sepiel didn't realize that Georgios had backed into the 9 high straight. Made the call with the king deuce.
And Henry, we were just talking about emotional swings.
It's time for a giveaway at WPT Global. Get a free $50 added to your account. Simply follow these 3 steps. Go to WPTglobal.com/hustler. Make a new account with bonus code YT74 and make a deposit. That's it. $50 will be added to your account.
We got a little information from Savage as we were coming back from the break.
Go on.
I think he said there was a small deal made. A lot of money left to play for. Maybe they did some kind of save. Sounds like this is a pretty massive heads-up
Gonna
match.
Raise to
Still.
8 million.
I like this. Giorgio's 40 blinds deep. He might still be employing
A call.
a nice number of limps, so when he does
makes a
raise,
call.
he chooses a slightly larger size. Also, just the larger size makes a lot of sense when you consider that the full ante is in there.
Flop is Queen Jack 3. Queen of spades. Jack of hearts 3 of
Top
hearts.
pair v middle pair. In an already inflated pot.
Check. Check.
Let's go check, check.
Turn cards is 6 of clubs.
Yeah, even heads up, kind of a natural check back type of hand that Giorgio's is holding. He's got the heart. He has a fairly weak kicker to go with his jack.
14.
He might bet some of his better jacks like King
Zach.
Jack, 10 Jack, Ace Jack, but
14 million.
Daniel betting big on the turn. This is nice. Just identifying that he has the best hand a large majority of the time.
And the call. Giorgio's calls.
He's going to get as much value as he can with it.
Jack of hearts on the turn. River card is the Jack of spades.
word. So just looked at the board and it was Queen 6-3, so that kind of changes the entire thing. Apologies for the graphics. It's come runner, runner, Jack, Jack.
10
Oh,
seconds. A
Full,
check.
yeah, I know. Apologies, but yeah, we saw the flop there. Queen 6-3, Jack, Jack. For Georgios. 47 million.
Oh, this is going to be an impossible situation for Daniel.
Feels like it.
If Gio's hit running jacks. Just so much less likely than of him turning up with a jack than if it was Queen Jack 3 and then the river was a jack. Oh my God, look at this.
Of
Gio's going for the jugular.
56 million.
Could be the turning point in this heads-up match. Potential tournament-defining moment.
BJ, come up here.
Sepio has made so many world-class folds throughout the day,
Makes the
but he
call.
has to make the call,
Wow.
and understandably
Eight to
so.
three jacks.
Oh man.
In the pot.
And we have ourselves a new chip leader,
Wow.
and he's quite literally gone 1, 2, 3. Doubled up with the ace-7. Very next hand, doubled up with the 7-5. First hand back from break. Takes the chip lead after being down 11-1 at one point in this heads-up match. That's all it took, Jesse.
I mean,
was
that's
3
insane.
hands.
You would think that he would have to scrape and claw his way back for a
56
long
million.
time, but it was just one after the other pretty much.
Just
Now,
this FT, Jesse. I mean, if you think back, end of day 5 was one of the shortest stacks on the day. If I'm not mistaken, bagged 43rd of the 45 players coming back there.
did he really?
Yeah. You know, like really dusty stack coming back into day 6.
So sick.
Survived
And
that.
6 million.
And the unofficial final table, there was that big hand against Artur Martirosyan. King Queen against Ace Queen of Diamonds in a
Exactly.
3-bet pot, just pings the King of
Flop
Spades
is
on the
Jack
turn.
nine
Oh,
deuce, Jack
yeah.
of
You know,
diamonds,
just
nine
so
of
many.
clubs,
Hold on,
deuce
hang on,
of
hang on.
spades.
Oh,
Jack
this.
9 deuce.
Oh, wow.
15 million in the middle.
This could be a massive turning point for Daniel.
5.
Check and a bet of 5 million by Dan Sepio.
So it went min open, call. Jack 9 deuce, check. 1/3 action on Soteropoulos.
Gio has the
Ray.
type of hand
Ray,
that's strong enough to check raise, that's for sure.
Lizzie.
Yeah,
Liz.
look at this. He's He's finding the check
A bet
raise.
of 1.
This could be the turning point
18-5.
for Daniel Sepil, who's been getting put through the ringer.
Daniel's loving this.
The last 5 hands, top and bottom, and his opponents hit him with the check raise for 3.5x.
Dan makes the call.
52 million in the middle. 2 cards to come.
Turn card is the 10 of diamonds.
Oh my word. Oh my word. I mean, even more outs now. Any king, queen, 10, 9, 8.
Flop 10 of diamonds on the river. Or turn, excuse me, on the turn.
For Georgios.
10 of diamonds on
Does he continue firing? Doesn't slows down Jesse.
I like this. 10 certainly interacting with a bunch of hands that Daniel would bet call on the flop. Gio identifies that the strength of his hand has gone down on this card a little bit, but
35.
it's a
that's
great
35
hand
million.
type to check call. He has a lot of outs. Control the size of the pot a little bit. And also, you want to have some strong hands in your check calling range. This is a nice one to mix in there.
35 into 52. Close to 70% pot. On request from Sepil. With 1 card to come. Georgios understandably going
And
nowhere.
the call's been made.
I mean, SPR less than
Going
1.
to the river.
Daniel with 97 million back. The brick rolls off. Have to imagine he gets the double here.
All right, Jack 9, deuce on the flop, 10 on the turn, 7 of
It's
spades
clean.
on the river. 7 of spades on the river.
So it does now put a 4-liner out there.
Very interesting card.
Seconds.
Noticing some heavy breathing for the first time from Georgios. Is he thinking about
Whoa.
going for it?
Whoa.
Putting Daniel all in for his tournament life. Flop went check raise. Turn went check 70% call. And now Georgios turning his hand into a bluff, Jesse. Deliberately trying to fold out hands like this, other 2 pair. Oh, he's made the call.
Wow.
Shows queen,
Oh
jack
my
for
God.
Jack.
Sepil
Jack
makes
deuce,
the
2 pair
call.
over here. 2 pair, jack,
And just like that,
jack,
regains the
deuce
chip
of
lead.
diamonds, Queen of clubs, jack of spades. Got that, BJ?
Queen 10s. That would be better as bluffs. Possibly some other hands. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was a turned flush draw. So maybe some pair plus flush draws that you could bluff with.
All right.
It was,
Queen
yeah,
Jack feels
right.
maybe even like a little too strong.
Well,
Got a
Sepil
raise.
putting on the
Georgios
cape
to 7 million.
for his tournament life on a
Less.
4-line
60,
board.
Or 60, yeah. It's
Yeah,
over 60.
65.
65, that should be.
And
7
now
million.
back in cruise control after a bit of adversity.
All in.
All in
Oh,
over here. And
Daniel.
a call.
Jamming
3,
over
king
the
of
top
clubs, 3 of hearts for Dan.
of the
King,
open
queen
from
over here for
Soteropoulos.
Giorgio. King of hearts.
And just
queen
like
of
that,
What is
the
happening right
man
now?
from Greece, from Athens,
King 3, king queen.
looking likely to be
Georgios,
right
the
back
all-in
in this, unless Daniel Sepil can find some clubs
Hearts and clubs.
or
in
one of the
both
3
hands.
remaining 3s
King
left
of
in the
hearts,
deck.
Queen of clubs. King of clubs. 3 of hearts.
He's had Soteropoulos all in for his tournament life once already.
Yeah, let's get it.
This is a
he's gonna be on
slugfest.
for
Just
64.
It's exactly what we asked for, right?
yeah, you're not wrong.
66-7.
To wrap up this festival after an epic 3 weeks of poker at the win in Las
66.
Vegas.
Yeah, 66-7. All right.
These two
All right.
just swinging for the fences
Here comes the flop.
against one another.
The flop is an 8-4 jack.
Comes
8-4
Jack,
jack.
8-4 as
In
clean
the lead for Georgios.
as it gets. 2 cards to come. 3 outs twice.
8-4. Turn card. Is a 3.
Oh, wow.
On the turn.
How on earth has he found that?
To 3
Wow.
outs. He needs a queen.
3 of
on the
diamonds,
river.
corner pocket.
Oh, we have a champion.
The 3 outer heard around the poker world.
Diamonds on the turn.
And now Soteropoulos finds himself drawing to 3 outs once. Otherwise, we have ourselves a champion.
All day it's felt like it was Daniel's tournament.
It's a deuce.
And his tournament it is, Jesse. Daniel Sepiel, after coming so close back in 2022, busted deep in day 4, has come back in 2023 for redemption. Closes out the WPT World Championship